Hi everybody, this is Gem Queen again, aka Game Show Guru. I was going to talk more about why I'm not really a fan of CBS or ABC because because this is going to be a couple set of vids because I really want to talk about why CBS and ABC have bothered me. This has been a long research that I've done for a couple months in the summer, so I will start doing my video game rants up soon. So hold on so just buckle your safety belts with those, but trust me. Now, CBS also has done in what I would consider the cheapness even farther. If you watch the show called Tattletales, this proves the cheapness perfectly. Okay? For both runs on the CBS run from February 18th, 1974 to March 31st, 1978, and January 18th, 1982 to June 1st, 1984, this is where I really am not a fan of their structure. The reason why I get upset with this is because, number one, the maximum that you could win on this show alone, if the couple was very intelligent and very lucky, the maximum you can win in one game is $1,750. That's it. $1,750 split 20 ways. I'm not kidding. $1,750 split 20 ways. So you get about a maximum of 75 bucks for 20 members of your group. The red, the banana, or blue section. Well, unless if you're getting $1,750 up to $1,750 each, then I think CBS did very well. But according to research, you split it 20 ways. So technically, you did not get what you were expecting. They were cheap. That was cheap. I think since I mean, like I said, I do like Tattletales. You know, it was funny and it made sense. But I think what they were offering for cash and all that jazz, I think they should have had like actual couples, not, you know, not celebs, you know, kind of spilling out everything we kind of need to know like a tabloid magazine for a half hour, and having a studio audience be part of the, you know, of the winnings as well. I think that was the major weakness to Tattletales, both runs. Because when you have, you know, a group of celebs, you know, and their wives or girlfriends go on the air and spill every single thing about themselves and winning money for the studio audience, you know it's not going to succeed. And yes, I know the first run survived only 4 years. And yes, I know that the second run survived only 2 years. I wonder why the second version didn't succeed. Oh, I know why. Poor time slots. Yeah, poor time slots. The show was broadcasted at 9:30 a.m. 9:30 in the morning. That's when you're still up against, like, say, Good Morning America or the Today Show. And you're gonna play this at 9:30 a.m.? How about 10? How about like 10 a.m.? I think that, you know, I really hate to say this. I think they should have moved the Price is Right to, like, say, noon. No offense to the Price is Right. It should have been played at noon. I was not really that impressed that, you know, you kind of put the game shows too early. That's syndication department at 9 or 9:30 in the morning. That's syndication department. Not, you know, not a network game show. The only game show that I thought didn't go that cheap, the cheap route, was of course Press Your Luck. And I love this show of all time. This is one of my top 10. I love Press Your Luck. I love Peter Tomarken, and everybody originated from it. They never were cheap on, the prizes or the cash values. I mean, there's been a few episodes where most contestants won less than 5,000, and no, I mostly avoid those very well because it just felt like, oh, this contestant won $1,500. They won. Congratulations. Woohoo. You could have had like 11,000, and you were too greedy to push you were too greedy to push yourself, and you won $1,500. Yeah, I bet when you probably see the tape of yourself pulling that crap, you should have thought like, oh yeah, I should have passed those spins and could have gave my opponent, completely knocked out, instead of knocking myself out and winning a lousy $1,500. Moving on. I just think that other CBS game shows, in my opinion, during the game show crunch of the 70s, I really kind of wish they didn't air them, because most of them didn't really go well, on stage. Like Give and Take, for example. Give and Take, for example, is just playing Wheel of Fortune with prizes instead of mostly playing, it just, the whole structure of this game was just moronic. I hate to say it. I watched the only existing episode of this series and reading the little small synopsis from the game show book, and I still feel a little disappointed that they really were, in my opinion, semi-cheap. I mean, maybe if they would have put, like, say, the value a little bit more higher, like, say, $10,000 rather than $5,000, I think it would be a little bit more fair. Then mostly you would have a better chance to keep a good amount of prizes, because many contestants would win about 1 or 2 or 3 prizes and the very small ones. Or they would get 2 medium ones or 1 big prize. And then in the bonus round, you would try to get all 7 of them, including the ones that you have, and win the whole kit and caboodle if mostly the indicator lands on your space. And if you do, you win all the prizes, including the ones that you started, which can range between 16,000 up to 24,000 according to archives. But the one thing that nailed me on CBS growing up is Wheel of Fortune. Yes, I hate this version of Wheel of Fortune. I grew up watching this every single morning and wanted to sue Merv Griffin for everything he was worth. I could not believe a powerhouse of Wheel of Fortune being moved from the rival network and couldn't hold a candle to the NBC version. Yeah, and I wonder why. Because CBS couldn't be like NBC. And yes, there are some game shows where NBC dominated and where CBS tried to become NBC and failed. Now, I'll never forget this with Wheel of Fortune. Now, you all know the original Wheel of Fortune theme and the way it was done, okay? You had the big, you had the wheel and it had the big, title of Wheel of Fortune. Yeah, well, here's how the CBS version just mostly said, screw you. The camera pans at the podium from a far angle where you see the 3 contestants, climb up to the podium, while the camera pans out to the puzzle board while showing an animated version of a creation of Wheel of Fortune, but not showing it in the circle. It just shows it like in gold letters, and while that goes out, the wheel goes in reverse of how it was recreated while the puzzle was already put up. That has never been done. In layman's terms, you see that the camera aims at the puzzle board where the puzzle has already put up, meaning that you see like how many letters or how many words are in the puzzle. You never saw that in daytime. You never saw that on the NBC version. That to me is an excuse and just an embarrassment. Number 2, they were cheap. Altogether, everything on the stage, in cash and prizes, started at $42,000. What is this, 1983? I'm serious. I watched the NBC versions on the NBC version of Wheel of Fortune on the internet. From seeing that they went over like $20 to like $45,000, and this is back to 1975, 1982, and they were going higher than almost 50 grand. The CBS version was just cheap, and this is July 17th, 1989. When the daytime was actually offering almost $200,000 in cash and prizes, and that was 1989, early '89. This is mid $42,000. No joke. $42,000 offered on stage. Instead of having Pat do the show in daytime, since he was doing his late night show, which sucked, you have Bob going. Yeah. You all remember him from Entertainment Tonight? Yeah. He got to do his second game show in his career. Number 3. The wheel being as cheap as hell. Going back to old increments, dollar increments, from say 1975, 1976, putting $50 space on the wheel, $50 space on the wheel, $75 space on the wheel, and the dollar values didn't go any higher. They actually did not follow the original version. You had $500 as the top dollar value in the first round, $750 in the second round, and top dollar value on the final round was $1,500. And the puzzles were very small. Most contestants didn't win more than $3,000 in one round. And every contestant from the series that I have seen, from the tapes I have, everybody went for the $5,000 jackpot, which I think should have been on the wheel like the original daytime. I think Bob Goen was just there for the check. I did not like him as a game show host. The only game show I liked from Bob Goen was when he started in Blackout and when he was on That's the Question on GSN. I think he put a lot of effort into those programs very much. But when he did Wheel of Fortune, that really hurt. That broke my heart to see CBS try to mutilate, a very good game show in a daytime structure. And NBC tried to revive it again in the early 1991 on January 14th, and it couldn't hold a candle. And that to me was devastating to see that CBS just mutilate what I would consider the worst game show of all time. I hate to say that. I mean, I love Wheel of Fortune, but I like when Pat did it. When Pat and Chuck did it. Not a reject. The only structure of CBS that I don't like is, like I said, it's the cheapness. Even The Price is Right is to blame for this. And, even from the first episode of this series on Labor Day, September 4th, 1972, I was pretty, shocked seeing this, on the internet. After watching this almost shocked me after seeing this on the first day it was uploaded. When seeing that, for 72 structures, I was almost in shock that even the first item up for bids was a fur coat. And it was cheap. $550 fur coat from a place called Zerman's in New Jersey. $550. Or as what I would consider fake. It was a fake fur, and it was a jacket, not a long one like you get on Let's Make a Deal or High Rollers. And that was the real thing. It was a long chinchilla fur coat. And it was a long one like you'd wear for the winter, and it was a real fur. I wonder why Bob Barker didn't stop, seeing that from the first day it was aired. That made no sense. And the car was $2,746. And sometimes the cars went downhill, but came back up. So between the half-hour episodes, the cars went up, down, up, down, up, down in price. So I know where they kind of got them. I don't think they got them from L.A. And in my opinion, I was not that impressed, but I still like the half-hour versions better than the hour-long episodes. Sorry. I'll kind of talk about a few other pricing games that I have issues with on other videos. But right now, I want to stop here for now. There will be another part on this soon. But I just wanted to talk about, why CBS and ABC kind of, went downhill in game show structures. So I hope you enjoy these parts very much as I worked very hard on them in research. So I hope you guys enjoy this very much as I do.